How you doing today? Welcome to Bo's Shop Talk. We're just hanging out, talking about shop stuff. If you don't like it, we'll do something else. So, my name is Bo, and I have a little shop here. We repair all kind of small gas engines, generators, lawnmowers, weed eaters, chainsaws. We also do the whole house generators. Basically anything with a spark plug on there, we fix it. We're an authorized dealer for most makes and models like British Stratton, Generac, Honda, Kohler, Hydro Gear, Husqvarna, Snapper. Too many to list actually. We also sell new equipment. We don't sell as much equipment as we used to. We more as in the service and repair and selling parts and accessories. Basically, I stopped selling new equipment about 5 or 6 years ago. To be perfectly honest with you about it, there's no money in selling new equipment. You're averaging 10 to maybe 15% profit margin on it, and then the amount of real estate you have to have, and the insurance and all that, when you add it all up at the end of the year, you lost money. And you have what's called floor financing, and it's a racket because the manufacturers get their money. For instance, like Toro and Snapper and Gravely and Skag, they force you to buy all this amount of equipment, and they give you like a year or 2 years of interest. And of course, you gotta have certain models after that year that you hadn't sold that's there, that every month you pay the interest, where it's 20 to 30% of the value of the amount of the equipment that you have there. So I see myself writing checks for a couple $100, all the way up to $2,000 a month on interest for equipment that I hadn't sold. And I sold equipment below my costs just to get it out of here, so I wouldn't have to keep paying these interest payments. So that's why I stopped selling equipment. Don't get me wrong, they got other dealers that do great selling new equipment. Unfortunately, I never was a big player when it comes to that. Would I like to? Well, yeah, sure. Who would want to sell a lot of equipment? The other thing is that we don't have a large, at this building here we're at now, we don't have a large showroom like we used to have. I have more of shop space, you want to say, and storage for equipment than I do anything else. So, and actually we're in the process of buying this building where we're at now. Well, we're trying to. And then again, the economy's not all that great right now, too. Trying to interest rate and all that good stuff. But that's beside the point. But we love the building where we're at. You know, really don't want to move. But that's another talk for another day. But we got fingers crossed that everything's will work out when we get this building. But anyhow, and I've been like I said, we don't really sell new equipment like we used to. But I order, especially for equipment, certain models, certain customers request, I get stuff like portable generators, stuff like that. We keep certain model ones here. We sell, but as far as like selling new lawnmowers and weed eaters and blowers and chainsaws, stuff like that, no. Will I do it again someday? Maybe, but probably not. But never say never. You never know what might hold. Maybe I might do it later on. I mean, maybe coming up in the near future. For a simple fact, we have nowadays in the New Orleans area where I'm at, and I'm on the West Bank side of New Orleans. We have less competition. Actually, 3 of our competition closed down last year. And actually one of them works for me now. I should say we work together. He works with us now. We all work together. His name's Paul. Very good guy. He's been in the industry about 40 years now. Probably one of the best mechanics out there. Really knows stuff, and actually he brings a good bit of his customers come here, and it's a game changer with him on board. What this really is. This has been a real bad year for us with this drought that we've been having in the Gulf South area. It's been really brutal for our business. It's the worst I ever seen it, and I've been doing this since 1985. I've never seen this drought like this ever. It's decimated my business. It really has. It's in some ways that's why I'm on here now. And normally I'd be so busy right now I don't have time to be on this thing. But I'm trying to I guess change the way we're doing it. Trying to go with the modern times now, I guess you want to say. It's the only thing I haven't done. It's the only thing I know how to do. I mean, I don't know what else is out there, to be honest with you. I'm 52 years old. So it's the only thing I haven't done. I've been doing this since I was 14 years old. It's the only thing I know. I guess I'm kind of good at it. I'm not the best at all, but I work with the best. And but I really like what I do. I mean, actually on my time off, my spare time, I work on antique ride lawnmowers, antique engines, small gas engines, the exact same thing that I do day in, day out for a living is what I do on my spare time. So that goes to show you my passion about this industry. This industry has changed a lot since the last 10 years and really the last 5 years and the last 3 years since COVID. I hate to say it, the dealerships are closing down left and right across the United States. This is a dying industry. Especially our mom and pop business is a dying industry. That's why do whatever it takes to support your local business, no matter what. Support your local business. You know, anything you can do to help support your local business is a big plus. It really is. Without your local business, it wouldn't be a local town. It really wouldn't be. But anyhow, it's been kind of we even though with the drought and everything, we still got a good bit of work. You know, we're still getting work coming in every day. I'm actually back working on chainsaws again, and which I hadn't done chainsaws in about the last 4 or 5 years now. So I'm back working on chainsaws, preferably still Husqvarna and Echo. Very selective on what model ones I work on, but already this week I already took in about a dozen still chainsaws. It was pretty good. Not saying I'm lowering my standards, but I really hate working on chainsaws. But even though I hate working on them, I'm still not. I mean, I'm still like, you know, in some ways, small gas engines. I still like doing it. It's just the thing I hate the most is the pull and pull. You get out of breath quick. Lucky I quit smoking a few years ago, so now I got a little extra breath now. Thank God I gave them damn cigarettes up. That's probably one of the best things I did in a long time too. I'm not here to preach about quitting smoking. If you like to smoke, go ahead and do it. I had to quit. It was killing me. I had no other choice. Yeah, I used to always say, only a good mechanic smokes cigarettes. If you didn't smoke cigarettes, you wasn't a good mechanic. Hopefully our weather will be changing. We might actually have a chance for rain soon. Let's hope so. We really could use some. Try to get my work area a little straightened up, cleared up here. I don't like working all this disorganization stuff. I like having a nice, good, clean work order. Right. I'm sure there needs some rain. Like yesterday. I got a bunch of these Honda carburetors that I replaced throughout the season this year that I'm going to go ahead and rebuild, and having what I call what we call low budget jobs. Sometimes people can't afford to buy. Sometimes they need a whole new carburetor. And you know, times are tough right now for people. So, and then, you know, trying to help them out and say, hey, look, I have a carburetor that's rebuilt. It's almost like new, and it's not one of them Chinese junky things you buy off of Amazon and eBay. It's the OEM. This is for a Honda, like a EU 2000, the little suitcase ones. And you know, these things are $150, $170. I mean, I just guessing at the price. I don't really know what the exact prices are, but you know, I know the OEM stuff is not cheap at all. But you know, I could rebuild it, put new gaskets, new needle valve, and all that, and especially, you know, with the electric motor. Now this one right here I probably won't use because somebody cut the wires up, or believe it or not, we get a lot of them where the squirrels and rats eat the wires up on this equipment, stuff like that. So you see a lot of that. So this, or sometimes you get customers that read something, or they see somebody on a video that says, oh, you cut these wires and you jump this off. Look, whatever you do, don't cut into no wiring harness on any generator of equipment if you don't know what you're doing. Don't watch these damn videos and do that shit. Because if not, you wind up going to be at a shop like me and we no mercy. Because the last thing is, any shop, the last thing we hate to see, I'm going to give you a little word of advice when bringing equipment to the shop. Don't tell them don't work on it. And then, I mean, I understand you tinker with it and all that, but don't take it all apart and bring it to them in pieces. That's the last thing that any shop, I don't care who they are, they don't want to see that. Because 9 out of 10 times, there's parts missing. You don't bring all the parts. And they act, you know, like they bring it here and I go, well, look, you're missing, you got parts. Oh, no. And I'll look through the box, hey, look, I have to tell you right now, I see the spring in the bracket. Oh, yeah, that's them in the bench. Well, see? I said, there's parts missing. You're trying to tell me there's not. And then you want to argue with me when I'm telling you there is. And I mean, I know what I'm talking about, this, that, but let me tell you, customers, for y'all watching this, just be honest with the technician or the shop owner that you bring it to and you bring it. Be honest, yeah, I took it apart. I didn't know what the hell I was doing, and I realized, oh shit, I shouldn't have did that and bring it to you. Let us know. But don't try to put it back together and then deny it when we say, hey, look, we had to spend a little extra time doing this and that because everything was wrong and this and that. And then you want to argue with us and say, oh, no, we ain't touching this, that. And you know goddamn well you did. You know, so just be honest with us, you know. And that's a few things like, you know, talk about, you know, what goes on in the shop, what the things that we see here every day. I'm sure some people are curious what happens here in the shop. Sometimes it's a little comical, you know. I like the ones when they just bring it, oh, it just needs a tune-up. And it's been sitting up for 5 years underneath the tree by the ditch or the pond, and done flooded over, the creek done flooded over 4 or 5 times. There's a water line by the engine. You can't pull, you go to pull a rope one time, the rope breaks, and you sway up and down, all it needs is just a damn pull rope. But it's been sitting outside for 4 or 5 years. Yeah. Yeah, we get some doozies in here. But like I said, some of these ones I have are these carburetors I say they're almost like new. And what it is, I had some customers that I told them, I said, look, they've been sitting up for a while. I need to pull the carburetor down, clean, adjust it and all that, rebuild it. And he said, you know what? Just go ahead and put a new one on there. I feel much better. It's good. I said, okay, no problem, put a new one on there. And then some of them, you know, they get all corroded. Well, this is not that bad, but, you know, then we'll kind of say, look, hey, it's a 50-50 when, you know, this was not that bad, but I think the bowl was really corroded. And what happens is, they get corroded inside these jets, and you have these little holes, these little orifice holes, where you have to have the right amount of air and fuel mixture for it to run smooth. So what happens is with the ethanol, it makes this corrosion, this powdery stuff that's corrosion from. So basically, what ethanol is, ethanol doesn't have a shelf life. So after a couple of weeks, it starts turning to water or moisture, and that water and moisture makes corrosion like this. And it corrodes all up, and that corrosion is like cancer and spreads over. Well, it gets in here, and you can put it in an ultrasonic cleaner or any kind of other concoction you come up with and soak it and all that. And you can get these little, like Amazon sells all them little cleaning brushes, and you can poke holes in it and do all that. But you're not going to get that corrosion. There's no tool that's going to get and clean that corrosion out. Or these little holes that you can't get to, the right amount of air and fuel has to pass through these little orifice holes. You'll never get there, and you'll never get the surge out of it. And you'll see customers, they'll rig up springs and they'll tie off the ride, this, that. I can't get. Let me tell you, and not this is tough. Let me tell you how you get that surge out. You take that carburetor off, and you throw that something in the damn garbage, and you go to your local dealer, not Amazon, not eBay. Get your cheap ass and spend a few extra dollars and support that local dealer and go buy you a genuine OEM part. Do that. Support your local dealer. But if not, most of y'all are going to go, look, lazy, I'm going to Amazon, eBay, yeah, boom. I'm saving me $20, $40. But to be honest with you, you're not saving no money buying the OEM on Amazon or eBay or any of that. 9, 10 times it's cheaper going to your OEM, your dealer, your local dealer. Because they're going to sell it right around list price or a few dollars over to cover their shipping and handling. Because let me tell you, the factories don't give a shit about us dealers. So we add a little bit here and there to cover our costs with the shipping and handling and all the other stuff. Because the factory, this is what the factory does to us small dealers every day. That's why we're a dying breed. We're a dying breed. You know. and especially Honda. Honda don't give a shit about their dealers. They don't. And they'll tell you, we're Honda. If you don't like it, go yourself. And Honda, if you're watching it, I don't give a shit either. What you gonna do? Huh? What you gonna do? Believe me, I love your products, but you can shit on a dealer. And you know who I am. I'm a master technician with y'all. Think I get any recognition from y'all? No, this is what I get from Honda. 30-something years representing Honda. What do I get from them? Nada. Nothing. Yep, nothing. Yep, they don't like it. Oh well. And there's a bunch of other OEMs the same way. Like, for instance, let me get on another subject. Bridget Stratton. What are y'all doing? These new people that took over Bridget Stratton, as most people don't know, Bridget Stratton went into bankruptcy a couple of 2 or 3 years ago. Some investment firm bought them out of bankruptcy. Since then, their prices to dealer cost has been going up and up and up. It done went up not 3 or 4% in the last 6 months. Some things 30% has went up. It's like, screw these small dealers. They discontinue so much of the parts. It's ridiculous. I used to buy like all kind of these little plastic bags, the Bridget Stratton logo, brown paper bags, parts bags for customers. Come here for small parts to put in there. Got Bridget Stratton on it. Don't say my name and nothing on there. Bridget Stratton on it. I love this stuff. I used to been using it for 20 years. We bought all kind of little knick-knack stuff from it. They discontinued that. Besides all the different parts on a lot of the older, I'm not talking about engines made 20, 30 years. I'm talking about engines made 5, 8 years ago. They discontinued parts on there too. So they forcing you, they force you to all this battery shit. You know what I think about that battery shit? Exactly what it is. It's shit. And all of it's crap. I want my good old gas-powered equipment is what I want. Gas-powered equipment. Screw that goddamn battery-powered bullshit. It ain't nothing but for the frick goddamn, I don't know. I don't want it. None of my customers want it either. We want some leaking-ass engines that burn oil, that blow smoke out in the first thing in the morning, and it's got power. That's what we want. We don't want no goddamn battery shit. We want horsepower. And they forcing the shit on us. What happened in America where we got our choice? It's damn bullshit. It really is. This is America, and we gotta go down to this battery shit. Oh, quiet for the environment. Ain't nothing fucking wrong with the environment. Nothing wrong at all with it. Everybody can breathe. I ain't seen nobody sucking for air out there. Come on. It's ridiculous. It's crazy. It's crazy. That guy. Don't get me started on that battery shit. Take this damn hammer right here and all that battery equipment, beat the living crap out of it. That's what needs to be done to that battery equipment. That's what I think of all that battery equipment. Take that shit. I want some horsepower around here. Oh man, don't get me started that battery power shit. You want to talk about good old horsepower here? This is an old 6.5 kW Onan twin cylinder RV style generator that belonged to the one of the local news stations around here. This let me get a closer look on this right here. See that generator right there? It's about 40 plus years old, and it, like I said, it belonged to one of the local news stations around here. There's no telling what type of history that was reported live on scene. Maybe from plane crashes to major hurricanes to whatever that was reported off of that as a twin cylinder flathead Onan. It's a 6.5 kW. That thing's a beast. That generator will outlast any brand new portable built today, I guarantee you. That's back when they really made stuff. Really made stuff. Not the crap they sell today. And let me tell you, everything, a lot of this new equipment they make today is shit. Because I know I repair it all the damn time. It's shit. It's garbage. That's why most people, they don't get rid of their old stuff. They keep fixing it. Because the quality that was built with is nothing like with the materials that, and you take it up, nowadays you take it up, and it breaks all apart, just taking it apart. It's been sitting up a long time. You know, back in the day, you never seen a carburetor that sit up for years. It was all corroded out. You couldn't rebuild and all that. It's because the additives they put in the gas and all that, with this ethanol and other stuff, and then the material that this carburetor is made of. That wasn't like that years ago. You could rebuild these carburetors. They made kits where you could change the bushings and everything in there. So that throttle shaft got all worn out. You could change the bushing inside that throttle shaft up in here, and it was like a new carburetor after that. You very rarely replace the carburetor back. When at my day, when I got started, and I'm not that old, I'm only 52. When I got started here in 1985, you rebuilt the carburetor. Them old Briggs flathead engines, they used to be on the snap of 11 horsepower. And back then, that was another thing is, you had a 48-inch cut with a 12 horsepower, single cylinder, in the 80s. Now, 28, 30 horsepower for the same amount of cut. And the engine's nowhere near size. The cylinders are nowhere near the size of what it is now. The weight and all that. Back then, with cast iron blocks. They were built to last. I have some cast iron engines here that I restore and rebuild, and I'm gonna do some videos on that. Some of my Sears Suburbans, and they have I have the 14 horsepower flathead, and I have the 12 horsepower Tecumseh, and Tecumseh was a hell of a manufacturing engine. Been in business for over 100 years, and they went bankruptcy I think around 2008. What happened was this what flooded the market with the Chinese crap is when Tecumseh went out of business, because they made that lower end engines. They the ones who supplied most of Sears back, and besides Britton Stratton. But when Tecumseh went out of business is when they flooded the market with the Chinese engines, because they filled that, I don't know how to say it, that they needed somebody to fill in that void when they went under, because you figure millions of engines they probably built a year, and that was Bridge & Stratton's only, besides Kohler at the time, and Kawasaki wasn't really, they was around, but they wasn't a major player like they are now, and they didn't really build a lot of low-end equipment. I mean, engines, but also Tecumseh built transmissions, you know, from hydro, you know, different types. I mean, they built a lot of different transmissions. Believe it or not, if you had a rocker back then, probably 9 out of 10 of it, the transmission was probably built by Peerless, which was Tecumseh. And Peerless, you know, and if you ever heard of Lawson, you know, Lawson, that was Tecumseh. They said they've been, I think they started off building a steam engine in the 1800s for the railroad or coal mine, I think it was. I think that's when they first got started. My history's right. I have to look it up. Not really sure, but they, at least 100 years they was in business for. A lot of people talk bad about Tecumseh. The reason why, because they didn't know how to work on them. Tecumseh was a very good engine. So they don't get wrong, they had some shitty models, but Tecumseh was really good. They made some good. Their carburetors are a little tricky to work on. You had to really know what you're doing. They're doing right, but they were tough as shit. It really was. Same way like Snapper. That's another. For almost 50 years, Snapper, 40 to 50 years, Snapper dominated the Gulf Coast South area. They were built in Georgia and Fort Worth, Texas for 40, 50 years. And if you're from the Gulf South area, somebody in your family, your father or grandfather or aunt or uncle had a Snapper. When I first got started in this industry in 1985, the very first thing I learned the two things I learned how to work on was a Stihl chainsaw and a Snapper lawnmower and a Snapper rear engine rider. The first things I learned how to work on. I collect them to this day. You know, the Snapper, with the self-propel lawnmowers. But a Snapper, they were the best. Everybody wanted a Snapper. If you could, a lot of guys back in the day on the grass cutter, you had to have the Snapper was the big thing to have. Yeah, some of them had the Toro 2-cycle, some of them had the lawnmower, that. But 90% of your guys, they had a Snapper, and they also had the Forrest Gump model, the rear engine rider, the white handlebars. They would get it with the bag kit and all that. And it was like it was literally a vacuum cleaner going across your yard. And what made it so special was the way how the deck was designed. It had a lip, and that blade also had a lift to it. It's called a high lift blade, and that caused a vacuum effect to that, and it sucked up literally like a vacuum cleaner going across the yard. So like the wintertime was perfect. If you had a bunch of leaves, you go across your front yard. It's literally a vacuum cleaner going across the yard. And same thing with them. They got bought and sold over the years, and then until Bridge & Stratton got their hands on them. And don't get me wrong, it was already kind of going downhill when Simplicity bought them. Ferris and Simplicity bought them, and I think I just read recently they discontinued the name. They stopped making it. I don't know if they stopped making the riders. I'm not sure about the push mowers. It's sad. I bought one brand new in 2005. It was It was supposed to be in the last year. It was a commercial model with the Kawasaki engine on it. The brand new out the box. The deck was bent. The wheels were wobbled. Piss poor design. The other thing I like about it, the brackets that bolted to the height adjusters and all that. I mean, the bracket that bolted to that, they used to bolt onto. They were welded. They weld them now. That's like the worst thing in the world, because if you had like this, you could level out that deck they had a little notch in there, and you could kind of tweak it out. If they had a little warp, you could level it out. But the problem was they were welded on a machine. If that machine was off just a little bit, and that's what it was, and that's why the deck was all off level. So I had to put a 2x4 on it, and my big fat ass jump on it, and to kind of straighten it out so it cut a little bit even. I still have it. Actually, I bought a brand new deck for it about 10 years ago. I still have that too in the box. I'm going to restore it this season. But I bought the old Wisconsin Robbins 2-cycle engine on eBay just recently from a guy. Actually, he's in the Alabama area. I think he's one of my friends. If you're watching it, I still got the engine. I ain't put it on yet, but I'll send you a video on it when I get it ready. He knows who he is. But I'm restoring that, and I'm actually I'm restoring a few Sears Suburban ride lawnmowers right now too. That I'm restoring, and also too. So I'm gonna be doing some videos on that this weekend. I'm gonna do some more live videos with me doing some prepping on that this weekend. I'm gonna do some live videos on that. Okay, I think that's about good for today. This is, like I said, it's the first day for the shop talk. I'm gonna post it and see how it goes, and hope y'all like it. If not, oh well. Kiss my ass. See y'all later. Thanks a lot.